Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Skippy and welcome to another video. Before I get on building the wings, just to go back to the silver tissue, it does actually shrink quite nicely. What I had to do is mist it several times, leave it to soak for a while, and yeah, it's come up quite nicely, I think. So it does shrink, so I'm happy that we can carry on with the rest of it. So let's get on with the wings. Right, let's pop these ribs out and all the other wing component pieces, and let's get building. I'll build it on the plan, build the two separate wings, and we'll look at sticking the ailerons in or making space for ailerons as well. I'll do the photos just to show how we do it rather than trying to video all of it as we go. I don't know if you noticed from the photos before this little clip, the components don't line up exactly on the plan. If you stick to the end, the curve in these pre-cut pieces doesn't match the plan. So what I've done is I've obviously stuck them down, pinned them, and then I've applied these two ribs to try and join it up and keep it nice and rigid. What I'm now going to do to make sure that all the other ribs are in the right place, I'll unpin it all and then move it along so that it comes up to the edge. Then I can space the ribs correctly, and hopefully both wings will then be the same. But annoyingly or frustratingly, the plan doesn't seem to match up with the cut wood parts. So already those two ribs are off line, but I've got them as close as I can. So just something to watch when you're putting your wings together. Because of the length of the servo wire, and it's going to go from this position through the wing and then down into the fuselage, decided to make the aileron longer than originally suggested on an earlier photo. So to do that, I obviously now need to trim the ribs before I glue them in place so that I can then cut this out to create the aileron. What I've done here is I've stacked up all the ribs that are going to form the aileron space. I've put F2 at either end because F2 actually is a limiting factor I need to consider when I make the size of the aileron. I don't want it to be, what I was going to do is keep it easy and basically butt it up against this stringer here. However, I noticed that I need space for the wing support. So what I'm going to do is draw a line, a vertical line down that side, then the other side, and then join them all up. And because I've got them spaced correctly using that bit of spare balsa, I'll then make sure that I cut it, and then I will create the aileron fixing point this side. It'll make more sense when I do it, but just to make it easier to line it all up, I've just used a piece of spare that I cut off the end here. And I'll now cut that down, and then I can start just gluing the other ribs into place before I cut this piece off to then create the ailerons. been a productive day today. Both wings built, both ailerons built. Remember to put the block of wood for the control horn to fit into. Rounded all the edges, so it's looking a lot neater. There you go, done all of that, rounded it all off. I don't need to fit the servo in until after I've covered it and built the fuselage. Then I know exactly which slot it needs to go into for the length of the wire, although as you can tell I'm anticipating it's this one. So both wings done. When I want to connect the ailerons after they're covered, I'll cut a slit there and there, same on the other side of the wing, and then using Mylar just stick them together. So that'll work as all the other ones do, like I did on the tail surfaces. So wings built, now I'll just get on and cover it. Right, so I've finally managed to finish the wings. I apologise this bit of the video has taken so long. It's just whilst the weather's been good, I've actually been outside flying other models. So just making the most of it while I can. So coming back to the wings then, using this silver tissue. Underneath, the tissue is nice and taut on the wing, and the reason being is I was able to spray it with water or mist it with water once it was glued to the frame. What I did with the top surface is glued it on, and then it took 4 days of misting it, allowing it to dry, misting it, allowing it to dry, and it shrunk down to this much, which isn't the best. I think if I was going to try it again, what I'll probably do, and I'll try on the fuselage, is I'll prep the wood with the Yoo-hoo glue. I'll then have the paper already cut to size. I'll then mist it lightly with water on the inside, which is the matte colour, and then fit it to the frame. I'm hoping then that it will shrink onto the frame, much like it's done on the underneath there, because I think, as you can see, it's a much tighter finish, which is good. So yeah, this is not perfect by far. I could, or I've considered stripping it off and starting again, but we'll see. I don't even know if it's going to fly yet, because I still haven't managed to fly the DL1. Fitted the aileron, that's ready to go. What I need to do for the wing now is obviously cut the slot in here for the servo, the linear servo, connect the control horn. I'm not going to do that until I've built the fuselage and I know how long the wire needs to be. That way I may be able to shift the servo slightly outward, but we'll see. Again, I'm going to fit the servo forward of the main spar though, just to add a little bit of weight. So there we go. So the wings are complete, tail section is complete. Now I need to move on to the fuselage. I do like the silver finish. I think it's just perfecting how you apply it so that you get better shrinkage. As you can see on here, it's same on the rudder and fin, not too bad. Underneath of the wings is good, not too bad generally over the whole wing, but it's just that edge and where it creases where it needs to fold. But as I said, I think if you mist it on the inside of the tissue, then glue it on, it'll be better. But I'll try that on the fuselage. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this bit useful, and hopefully I'll get the fuselage video done a little bit quicker now.